Well, what's going on, YouTubers? It's the Natural Born Thriller, and welcome everyone to WWE NXT Review, the show from September 5th, 25th, I meant to say, excuse me, 2019. As usual, they're in Full Sail University at Winter Parks, Florida. Your commentators, Mauro Renaro, Nigel McGuinness, and Beth Phoenix. And with another live edition of WWE NXT. So the show opened up. First of all, highlights what pertains to last time on NXT when they went live for the very first time, and it was a pretty good video package, basically showcasing what NXT is going to be all about every week. Leading up to what happened the opening show for this week was the Undisputed Era. Basically on top of a podium. A platform in a way. As they're draped in gold, with Adam Cole, baby, being the NXT champion, Roderick Strong being the North American champion, and Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, the NXT Tag Team champions. And then we pan down to the commentators, Mauro Renaro, Nigel McGuinness, and Beth Phoenix. And now we get to the show here. We get the opening match, Keith Lee versus Dominik Dijakovic. And this match was, holy shit, just nothing but another instant classic out of these two. Not just from outside WWE, but also what pertains to for the wrestling in WWE. And based of me seeing this match 3 times, still impressed that these two guys can, they gel well together, they match well together, they have good chemistry together, they never ceases to amaze me, and they never disappoint. Nothing but good spots moves, and incredible spots moves of these two, especially when it pertains to Keith Lee with his size and with him being big, doing a high flying move outside of the ring. From in the ring to outside the ring to Dominik Dijakovic was pretty impressive. Pressing himself out of the ring through a corkscrew body splash, or a corkscrew tope con hilo. It's not a con hilo, but basically like a corkscrew tope in a way. By flying over the top onto Dominik Dijakovic. Dominik Dijakovic, it was pretty good too as well, obviously, folks. He did the sunset flip pile driver, basically the flipping pile driver, the Canadian destroyer in a way, onto Keith Lee off the second rope. Well, actually, he was on the top rope, but Keith Lee was on the second rope as he hits it. And fans complain about this because that didn't end the match. I didn't expect it to end the match. We've seen this done so many times already. What pertains to doing these type of moves, the flipping pile driver in Impact Wrestling, in AEW, in WWE, and that should be a finishing move, because Petey Williams, who's the innovator, the inventor of that move, the Canadian Destroyer. So when he does it, no one kicks out of it. But when someone else does it, they can't do it. So I'm thinking to myself, as I'm watching this, and I also think about this too when it pertains to fans complaining about this. What's Petey Williams' secret? What's his secret of when he does the move, no one kicks out of it? But when someone else does it, like for example, Adam Cole, baby, with his Pamela Sunrise, what's the difference? What's different from Petey Williams doing that move and he wins with it? But when someone else does it, no one else wins with it. Don't know. Only the innovator, the inventor of that move, knows what's the difference and what's the secret and what prevents that type of move that he ends up winning, but no one else can win it. But nevertheless, this was a back and forth match. This had one commercial break only, because it was the 1 hour, by the way, is on the USA Network, and then we get to the finish here. We get Keith Lee getting Dominic Dijakovic on his shoulders, a standing fireman's carry position, gives him the like a slam into a splash, kind of how like Goldberg does, what pertains to the jackhammer, the suplex position, and then slams him down, and as he presses his body on top of him. Same thing here with Keith Lee, standing from his carry, does that, and then slams down along with him, calls it the supernova, and gets the win. Basically Keith Lee gets the win. So now 1-1, Dominic Dijakovic and Keith Lee, one piece. Basically, it's going to lead to a rubber match at the end of the day. And by the way, folks, some people are going to say, well, 50-50 booking. WWE does that on the main roster too, but when they do it, it doesn't mean shit. Because basically, where it pertains to the structure of the match and everything, they don't do it right. But when NXT does it right, and they show you how it's done right, because it put two guys over, where even though one of them lost, but at the end of the day, the guy who ends up losing ends up coming out smelling smelling like roses. It's kind of like how Stone Cold Steve Austin had once pointed out at one point. You can make them look, you can have them lose, but you can have them lose to feel like they want something at the end of the day. But when WWE does that, and obviously the same platform WWE pertains to but I'm talking about what NXT does differently when they do 50-50 booking, is that they make two guys in the match matter at the end of the day. Meanwhile, on the main roster, WWE doesn't do that, and it does annoy people when they don't do that, like with EC3, Robert Roode, and etc. etc. This was done right. If you've seen the match, you know what I'm talking about. It was done right. So yeah, it's going to lead to a match between these two later on. Obviously it is, because they both won matches on each other. First it was Dominic Dijakovic, and now you got Keith Lee winning. So it's going to lead to a rubber match between these two. They show the tail of the tape between Candice LeRae and Shayna Baszler, what pertains to the NXT Women's Championship title. That's going to happen on the next episode of NXT, and that's gonna be where NXT goes head to head with AEW. And where Mauro Ranallo mentioned that during that episode of NXT, when they're gonna be on when NXT is gonna be on the USA Network full time this time, no longer on the WWE Network. They'll still part on the WWE Network, but where it tends to be on demand. But I'm talking about for the full 2 hours of NXT on the USA Network. It's gonna start on the next NXT show, which they'll be going head to head against AEW. And Mauro Ranallo announced that it's going to be limited commercials interruptions, which means we're going to have less commercials during that time, which is good. And at the same time too, they were kind of threatened and scared shitless because of AEW appearing during their commercials on the USA Network while the show was going on. Happened again, by the way, folks. AEW, they want to know that they are competition to NXT, not to WWE fully, but just to NXT. They showed the street fight highlights of Matt Riddle and Killian Dain, where in chaos with the whole entire roster, and they showed Regal coming out there and saying, basically to stop this whole chaos thing, and said that you're gonna have this match again, but this time it's gonna be a prize. The winner of this match will get a shot at the NXT champion, Adam Cole, baby. And we'll get to that match later on. Speaking of which, by the way, they showed something else too, where it pertains to the opening of the show NXT. They showed what happened after NXT went off the air, and they showed. And basically after they're done with this whole segment of the chaos ending, with the whole street fight thing and all that, that ended. Triple H got out there with the fans, doing what he does, leeching, pandering, kissing ass, just to be liked. NXT. I'm pretty sure he does care, because NXT is his baby. And just like he cares about some of the wrestlers that he does care about on that show, but once they get to the main roster, also he stopped caring about them because he knows where it's going to lead to. But it's whatever. I just thought I should mention that too. And fuck Triple H. Anyways, we get the return of Dakota Kai. Still looks in good shape. Still looks the same. Except she did a change her hair color. It's highlights basically in a way. But yeah, Dakota Kai is back. Team Kick is back. She goes up against Tainara Conti. I guess they're calling her by her last name again. But I digress. But basically, what I heard, they just call her Conti. I mean, Tainara, meant to say. But yes, Dakota Kai versus Tainara. And match itself was pretty good. Tainara, once again, showcasing how good she could be in the ring. Instead of, being like acting like a joke and all that and not taking things seriously sometimes. This one, and she's a heel, obviously. So yeah, she is a heel. She's a full-blown heel. And she's carrying herself like she care in the ring. Maybe because she got the best trainee to train her to take her so seriously in the match, and she showed that. And for example, she did a nice stiff kick to Dakota Kai. Surprised Dakota Kai didn't get a nosebleed after that, but she kept choking her nose to see if that's what happened. But this match ends up being pretty good, and Dakota Kai looked good in the match too, obviously because it's just her return. And in the end, she goes for her new finishing move. She goes for, the standing fireman's carry position to Tainara. She gets her off of her, and instead of knee her to the face, she kicks her in the face instead. The GTK, go to kick. That's what Marvel Monaro said, by the way. GTK, go to kick. But if you're going to go with Dakota Kai, with this whole team kick, I say you should call it the Go Team Kick. That makes more sense than to say go to kick. Because it really does make sense in a way. I mean, but I get what Mauro was saying there. Go to kick, because the GTS go to sleep, but the the GTK go to kick. I like go team kick instead. That's to me is more better. But the GTK and Dakota Kai wins the match. Obviously, she was going to win here. There's no surprise there. But still, good that she won. And I'm like Tainara now. I mean Tainara, meant to say. I'm liking Tainara in the ring now. I think she's starting to improve now, and which is good. I'm glad she's improving. I wish I could say the same thing with Aaliyah and Vanessa Bourne, but I digress. Oh yeah, they were teasing all night that Kushida is going to have two partners of his choosing, and they show him warming up for later on, which is not going to be on the US network. It's going to be on the WWE network. I'll get to that later once I get to the second hour, and that will be in the main event. But it was going to be Kushida and two partners of his choosing against Imperium's Fabian Eichner, Marcel Bardell, and Alexander Wolf. And I was excited to see who's going to be his two partners because it should be it could be a debut of a new tag team, and we'll get to that later. All right, now it's time for the main event, the street fight, where the winner will be number one contender against Adam Cole, baby, for the NXT Championship between Matt Riddle and Killian Dain. Their street fight to pick up where they left off from last time, and the match itself pretty good. This time no chaos this time involving what pertains to the rest of the rosters. They kept it in the ring. They also had their fights outside the ring as well, using steel steps. I think a candlestick was used at one point. I could be wrong, but I think I saw a candlestick involved in the match. But yeah, these guys were killing each other in this match here. Even when they got into the crowd, it went to 2 commercial breaks in this match between these two. But they ended up having a very good street fight, especially when they were wrestling into the crowd. And then Killian Dain running to Matt Riddle, body splashes him. Well, cross body splashes him into the wall, which broke. Which it was obviously a plant, but still pretty cool the way they did it. So the street fight has. Oh yeah, and a steel chair was used in the match as well. So and they got back into the ring, and Matt Riddle, look at who's going to lose here because Killian Dain does 3 Vader bombs once again, but only for Matt Riddle to kick out of it, and Killian Dain try to go for something else, and then Matt Riddle ends up countering that. Matt Riddle goes for the Fujiwara armbar, where there's nowhere for Killian Dain to go, and he extends the arm, and then Killian Dain taps out. So your winner and new number one contender from the street fight to face Adam Cole for the NXT Championship title next on the next NXT show, Matt Riddle. After Matt Riddle won the match, Adam Cole comes out and says to Matt Riddle that you're not on my level. You don't got what it takes and everything. And then Matt Riddle gets into the arm bar, and then Undisputed Era comes out to check on Adam Cole to see if he's okay, because Matt Riddle ends up hightailing out there. And that was the end of the first hour of NXT on the USA Network. Talking about wrestling for the first hour of NXT on the USA Network, 3 matches. And the first hour I thought was pretty good. Then we bleed into the second hour where we see Adam Cole and the Undisputed Era once again. Undisputed Era is checking on Adam Cole in the second hour, which it was on the WWE Network. And this time there was no issues on the network this time for anyone that was watching it on the network to watch the second hour. But at least from my knowledge. But Adam Cole, he's injured. Hopefully it's not serious because it is his wrist. I don't know. I don't remember if it was his right wrist or his left wrist. But all I know is that Adam Cole is injured, which is why they had to pull him out of house shows of NXT. So I don't know how he's going to be 100%. If he is going to either be 100% to face Matt Riddle this coming Wednesday, but hopefully he is, because wow, what a loss that would have been. What that would be. Let's see how it ends up being. Now, as far as what's going to happen with Adam Cole, if the injury ends up being permanent, will this be the night that Matt Riddle becomes the new NXT champion? Even though after all this time that Adam Cole and the rest of the Undisputed Era were talking about how 2019 is going to be their year when they're going to be draped in gold, will this end up being the end of the prophecy when Matt Riddle becomes new NXT champion? But also, you got something else that's going to be on the line too as well with Undisputed Era, and that's the NXT Tag Team Championships. Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. I'll get to more of that later once I get to the Street Profits. But yeah, will it happen? Will Matt Riddle become NXT champion? We'll see how that turns out, and that's obviously going to be the main event. I mean, I don't see any other matches on that show. That's not good. That should be the main event, other than the NXT Championship between Adam Cole defending it against Matt Riddle. But we'll see. But there you go, folks. Hopefully the injury of Adam Cole is not too seriously, where he has to end up dropping the belt. And then with him dropping the belt to Matt Riddle, with this whole thing with fulfilling the prophecy of being draped in gold in 2019. I mean, they did it. They done it. But it should last until the end of 2019. But will it all be worth for nothing if Adam Cole loses to Matt Riddle this coming Wednesday? We'll see. All right, let's continue on. Again, they're hyping up Kushida versus Imperium, where Kushida's got 2 partners of his choosing, and we'll get to that later. Rhea Ripley versus, formerly known as Lacey Lane, who's now being called Kaden Carter. In a way, I'm kind of glad, because if she ever leaves WWE, Kaylin Carter, if she ever leaves WWE, she could just go right back to being Lacey Lane. So they have about with Kimberly. They gave Kimberly the change of name, and I was like, okay, whatever, it is what it is. I forgot what her name was too, but it was a terrible name though. But she has been released by WWE. I don't know why they decided to release her, even though she's a very good wrestler, a very great wrestler in the women's division. But I don't know why they decided to release her. But hey, at least they don't have the trademark. At least they didn't trademark her name, Kimberly. So she's back in the Indies, being Kimberly, and then wherever Caitlyn Carter decides to leave WWE. I don't know if she's going to stay there permanently. It depends. It depends on them though. It depends how they feel about her. But we'll see what happens with her. And I think she's good too, by the way. Trained by the Dudley Boys, from Team 3D Academy. So she should be good in good hands. But we'll see. We'll just see. But as far as the match was, it was also showcased Rhea Ripley, and not saying that Kaden got squashed. She showed some offense in the match, but at the end of the day, Rhea Ripley exposed her and basically beat her in about, I guess, 4 to 5 minutes at least. She goes with the rip tie and got the win. Because this is a brutality. Hey, I'm in the public. This is my brutality. Just saying. Anyways, moving on. Sorry about that, folks. Dain Burch and Orton Lorcan, or should I say Orton Lorcan and Dain Burch, 1-2. They go up against Matt Martell and Chase Parker. I've seen these two guys before, and they call themselves, I forgot the name. Oh yeah, Ever Rise. That's their new tag team name. Yeah, Matt Martell and Chase Parker, Ever Rise. Not a fan of them. None that they did, they just don't appeal to me. But hey, they give them the offense though against 1-2 and Orton Lorcan and Dain Burch. And I thought the match itself was average. But in the end, the Ever Rise, they don't appeal to me at all. But I'll tell you one thing, I'd rather see them, in tag team wrestling, than the Dark Order in AEW. That's all I'm saying. But in the end, yeah, Dain Burch, he's getting all hyped up, right? And all of a sudden, Orton Lorcan from the outside, he gets all hyped up. He started rising up like he's a phoenix. And they did the double team move. The assisted DDT. And they got the win. Orton Lorcan was illegal in the match because Dain Burch he was getting all hyped up. And then Orton Lorcan from the corner. From outside of the ring. He gets on the he starts getting all hyped up. He gets on their apron. He gets tagged in, and that's when they did the double team move. So yeah, 1-2, and Orton Lorcan and Dain Burch wins the match. After the victory between 1-2, all of a sudden the crowd pops for some reason because there was something going on in the crowd, and there they were, Chelsea Green, formerly known as Lorna Vaness from Impact Wrestling, and Deonna Purrazzo. So yeah, the team of Chelsea Green and Deonna Purrazzo, known as VXT. What does that mean? I don't know, folks. I keep seeing these hashtags of VXT, and it obviously it came from Chelsea Green and Deonna Purrazzo. So that's gonna be they're gonna be a tag team on NXT, and they'll be coming soon. And I say to myself, what the fuck? They took so long for Deonna Purrazzo to show up on NXT. They've been hyping up Deonna Purrazzo. I don't remember how long that she's part of NXT after the Mae Young Classic, basically. I did like a year. It's been like a year since I haven't seen her on WWE television, since NXT. And I say to myself, okay, she's signed with WWE, but where is she? I know she's signed with NXT though, but WWE NXT. But where is she? Where is she? All I hear is that she's wrestling on house shows. And then also a year later, now all of a sudden they decided to debut her, with Chelsea Green. And Chelsea Green it was passable because she She unfortunately she did get injured. She got through the injury now, so she's good to go. And she's been good to go, but still she was injured around somewhere around that time. So I'm not saying that was good. They was gonna have these two come together at the same time at the time, but still. But I don't know when it happened between Chelsea Green and Jonah Purrazzo, where they all of a sudden became a tag team, and they came up with the name of VXT. Again, don't know what that means, what it pertains to them being called VXT, but that was the trend that was going on lately on Instagram, Twitter, and whatever. But yeah, but basically it was a plan to put them in there, you know, to make it feel like a big deal that NXT is doing a 2-hour show. You know, even though why couldn't they capitalize on this one on the first episode when they went live? You know, when they went. I mean, when they went live for the very first time from the last NXT show. Why do it on the second time they go live? But whatever. Cameron Grimes versus Raul Mendoza. So the match begins, and Cameron Grimes tries to go for immediate squash with the leaping double, with the leaping stomp. But Raul Mendoza, he paid attention to the match between Cameron Grimes and Sean Maluna. He basically thought about that, but he's like, oh no, you're not getting me with that one. And Nigel McGuinness said to this match like Cameron Grimes tried to go for the move on to Raul Mendoza again, like he did last week. Nigel McGuinness, you do realize that Raul Mendoza was not the one wrestling Cameron Grimes. It was Sean Maluna. But anyways, but Cameron Grimes and Raul Mendoza were working a very good match here. In the end, obviously with the leaping stomp, Cameron Grimes gets the win. And the crowd's booed, by the way. They booed that Raul Mendoza didn't win. They love Raul Mendoza. And you know what? I'm glad they booed on Cameron Grimes, because guess what? You're not supposed to root for Cameron Grimes. You're not even supposed to cheer Cameron Grimes, because Cameron Grimes is a heel. So, right decision there for Cameron Grimes winning. I mean, I love Raul Mendoza. He's very good wrestler. Very good, how he carries himself into the ring, and how he presents himself. I love what he brings into the table, but I knew he wasn't going to win either. I knew that they could have built up Cameron Grimes to be a big deal in WWE NXT, way more than what Impact Wrestling did with him when he was Trevor Lee. I'm just saying. We see Imperium get ready for that match, and let's get to it. The main event, Kushida, and Kushida comes out first, and then we get Imperium coming out, which is again Alexander Wolf, Fabian Aichner, and Marcel Bardell, but no Walter. So, wait a minute. I was going to say something before. Oh yeah, the Street Profits. I think the Street Profits may show up on the show, and they talk about how they want a shot at the NXT Tag Team Championship titles. Basically, they want the smoke, and they're going to get the smoke against Undisputed Era, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish for the NXT Tag Team Championships on the next NXT show, which, again, it's going to be on USA Network full time, 2 hours straight, limited commercial interruptions, and there you go. So yeah, Street Profits versus Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish of the Undisputed Era for the NXT Tag Team Championships, and there you go. Now let's get to this. Again, Kushida came out first, and then Imperium came out, which is Wolf, Aichner, and Bardell. No Walter. So also in Kushida, he does this time. He always does, and he brings out his partners. Basically, the lights goes out because he does this the time, and then we hear sirens. I hear sirens, and I say to myself, wait a minute. Now there's no way or no how that Triple H has tried to convince Scott Steiner, who Scott Steiner, by the way, hates Triple H's guts, and for all the right reasons too. But there was no way or no how that Triple H had tried to convince to bring out Scott Steiner, or whoever he tried to convince to have Kushida to be his partner. So basically, when I heard the sirens, I said to myself, wait a minute, who it can't be Scott Steiner. And then I thought to myself, someone's got that siren since a few weeks ago for the new theme music. And it was, of all people, Tyler Breeze, Fandango, Breeze Dongo. You know, the Fashion Police. And I was so disappointed that it was those two teams. I mean, that it was those two guys. You know, Breeze Dongo and, you know, basically Breeze Dongo. I'm like, really? I would have taken the Street Profits. Or who else? Who else is there attacked? I would have taken Dain, Birch, and Ori Lorcan. Yeah, oh my god, really? The Fashion Police, Breeze Dongo, against Imperium. Really? And then on top of that, Kushida, when the Breeze Dongo was doing their moves in the ring, Kushida was doing this. Bring himself to the, like, I hated this. I freaking hated this. And then make matters worse, the fans. You know, the whole Breeze is gorgeous chant. And then I try to remember what chant they did. What pertains to Fandango. It was annoying. But as far as the match was, it was decent. And the reason I say it's decent because I couldn't get into that much because of the Breeze Dongo. But they didn't overly muse their gyrate anything. Like, you know, Fandango does that basically, but not. I was actually more excited to see Tyler Breeze in the match than Fandango. But Fandango he didn't do no gyrate and all that. He didn't do that, which is good because because if you do that in the ring with Imperium, it's not gonna get you anywhere. Especially with Imperium being a serious faction where Imperium is all about, you know, this match is sacred. You know? So they had a match. Obviously, Kushida was good. Fandango, he was passable. Tyler Breeze, he was good too. And what else there is for me to say about Imperium? Imperium is always good. You know, with pertains to Wolf, Eichner, and Bardell. In the end, it was Kushida catching Bardell by rolling him up in the middle of the ring and getting the win. So Kushida and Breeze Dongo wins the match. After the match, basically, Imperium tried to beat up on Kushida, and excuse me for allergies in my eye. That's why. Kushida leaves the ring, basically gets out of Dodge way. He goes on the stage, celebrating. All of a sudden, the NXT UK champion Walter Big spoon him to spoil his celebration. As Imperium gets on the stage, you have Wolf on this side, Walter right there. I can't remember if it was Eichner standing there or Bardell standing there, or Eichner standing there or Bardell standing there. And the reason I say that is because after Imperium Walter did to Kushida. They're standing on stage, over Kushida. You see Wolf's name on that side, Walter's name on that side. And I can't remember again. It was either Bardell's name or Eichner's name there, or Eichner's name there or Bardell's name there. Either way, don't matter because Eichner and Bardell they messed it up because they're supposed to stand in front of their names, and one of them they were standing in the wrong names. So. Because if you're a new viewer, if you're a casual viewer and you've seen the show, you probably thought to yourself, I thought Bardell was, I thought Marcel Bardell is Marcel Bardell, but instead he's standing in front of the name of Fabian Eichner. So you're probably thinking yourself, so Marcel Bardell is Fabian Eichner, and simply goes for Fabian Eichner, where he's saying to yourself, so Fabian Eichner is Marcel Bardell. They bossed their own same position. When it pertains to standing on stage, with the whole Imperium name, and then you see the names of where they were supposed to be standing at. Walter and Alexander Wolf got it right, but Bardell and Eichner didn't get it right. They basically bust that spot. You know, standing in the wrong spot. But at the same time, see what happens when you skip rehearsal. Freeman Eichner and Marcel Bardell. Just saying. But yeah, it was. But anyways, that's my little nitpick there, though. But yeah, there you go. That was the end of the show. Talk about wrestling for NXT for the second hour on the WWE Network. I believe it was 3 matches. Let me just double check. No, 4 matches. A combined total of 7 matches of WWE NXT, the show from September 25th, 2019. And my overall rating for the show, I'm gonna go with an 8 out of 10. Good show. Good show. As far as this week's ratings, it didn't stay on the 1 million views. Because I think last I saw it was like about 0.79 million views. Still in a million views, but doesn't matter because you still get those people like, oh, look at that, I told you it was gonna last long, y'all. And NXT is not a draw and everything. No one's saying NXT is a draw. Can we just be fans, wrestling fans, and just watch the show and not worry about what's a draw or not? Can we just do that instead of worrying about this doesn't draw, this draws, and blah blah blah. At the end of the day, we're wrestling fans. We should enjoy for what people are watching. And for those people that watched it, good for you that you're watching it and not worrying about what people are saying. Because I'm one of those people I'm one of those people too. Like, who cares if they lost? It didn't stay the way it was. Who cares? Because we're still enjoying the product that we love watching. And for those that keep talking about too, you see, it ain't a draw. It's not gonna stay that way. People don't care and all that. It's those type of people that don't watch the shows, but they still talk about it. Just to make themselves feel good. And that's another thing too. It's like they want NXT to fail. Same thing. What pertains to AEW, Impact Wrestling, Ring of Honor, and all that. They want those companies to fail because they're not doing they're not doing a good job when it pertains to ratings. Because ratings to them matters. I get it. Ratings does matter. It does. But at the same time, we're enjoying something that we enjoy watching, no matter what, So you get those type of people. They'll talk shit about NXT, Ring of Honor, Impact Wrestling, all that stuff that they don't even watch, and they'll still talk about it though. You're still talking about it. You're still giving them the attention. You're still giving them the the platform to talk about on your videos, which means you do care. You do care about those products. You do care about them. Otherwise, you wouldn't care about them. Because if you didn't care about them, you wouldn't be talking. You wouldn't be talking about them then. I mean, if you care about them, yeah. If you care about them, you wouldn't be talking about them. That's what I'm about to say. But yeah, there you go, folks. I think that's how I say it. I think I said it right. That right. If you don't care about them, don't talk about them then. Because what you're doing is that you're showing people that when you're talking about them, it means you do care. Because if you don't care about talking about a show that you don't watch, you don't like, and you continue to do that, it means you do care. It means you do watch. You won't admit it's good. But that's all I gotta say for that now. So that being said, folks, I'm done. Thank you all for watching. For It's a Natural Born Thriller, saying peace on the streets. Until next time, pertains to this WWE NXT review, which the next NXT show is going to be a 2-hour full on the on USA Network, not on the WWE Network. This time, a 2 full-hour show, WWE NXT on USA Network. Limited commercial interruptions. You got the NXT Women's Championship title on the line. You got the NXT Tag Team Championship titles on the line. You got some other matches that's going to happen there. that I can remember off the bat. But the main thing is an Adam Cole defending his NXT Championship title, baby, against Matt Riddle. And that being said, y'all take care, and I'm out.